It's a great time to switch because the unemployment rate is so low, right? There's pockets in the economy that are screaming out for people skilled or willing to become skilled in that area. So if you're looking to change, think about it now.
What are those pockets of the economy?
Right, so look at the macro trends, I suppose. So clearly I think everybody knows here that construction trades is huge. I've just been up and down the country now seeing some big recruitment firms who are just saying, look, we just need skilled people and all across trades, whether it be diesel mechanics to builders, carpenters, etc. So if you've got some practical skills, think about that. IT is another big one. And these trends are going to continue for years and years. So if you move into those industries, then you're going to be set for life as such. And same with health, because we're all ageing. So health's another massive one with the trend continuing.
When you say they are looking for skilled people, do they necessarily need people who have years of experience or who have done university degrees or what?
Right, so no is the answer. I mean, yes, preferably, of course, you come in and you've got the skills for the job, but because there's such shortage of these people, they'll take people who have got a desire to change. So my advice would be, have the motivation to change first. Don't half-ass this, right? So you've got to be certain that you want to do it. Do a bit of a skills audit on what you do. Most people will think, I don't know what I can do, but if you just do an audit of what you do throughout the week, you'll be surprised at how many skills you do have, both hard and soft, right? Soft being communication or leadership, those type of things. And then go, right, so where do I need to change to? What are my skills gap? And then try and close that gap. And sometimes it doesn't mean you have to go to university or that type of thing. It means you can do free coding courses, look at Code Academy, you can do free marketing courses, read blogs, etc. So, and just prove that you've got that desire and people will be looking at you for sure and saying, OK, let's have a go.
So you do recommend upskilling where possible?
Absolutely. Look, upskilling is a thing that shows that you are keen as well, and of course shows that it sets you on that path. And if you can show that practical, like coding, do a bit of coding, say, look what I can do, or get on the tools a bit on a building site, then people will be more willing to say, OK, we'll invest in this person because we need people.
It's a change, isn't it? I think to my granddad's generation, and it's that old cliche of, you get a job at 17 or 18 and you work in that job until you're 65 and you get a gold clock or a gold watch and then that's it. Whereas these days, you mix and match, you go through a whole, young workers today can expect to go through a whole range of jobs and careers even.
It's absolutely right. So they say now that you'll have up to 12 different jobs and probably 3 or 4 even different careers in your life because people are more willing to change, but employers are more willing to take people from out of industry.
So just define that for us. A job, presumably, say for me, if I was a news reporter in New York and now I present breakfast, so that is a job change. Whereas if I was to throw it all in and become a hairdresser, then that would be a career change.
It would be, and I think you'd be suited to that, Jack. I think
wow. Well, there's no future in TV apparently, so that could be an option.
Right.
You pointed out those industries are key, but how do people know for sure that they actually want to change their jobs? Because everyone gets a bit grumpy in their gig from time to time. Yeah.
Well, look, I think it's that whole motivation thing. Speak to people, okay, obviously friends in your own network, and try to find somebody in the industry and really push around and find out what you do in the industry. Maybe get a bit of work experience in there, go in there for a day if it's possible and really learn, right? Because you're right, because especially out in this time of year when people have come back from a long Christmas break, they get a bit peeved with their job. But to change, you often have to take a bit of a pay cut too, okay? Because you've got to go back. So that's also a little, maybe not, but you have to be motivated to go through maybe that year or two of transitional change. But it's out there for you if you're really interested.
The other thing too is that the young people often have to make decisions about careers or feel pressure to make decisions about careers at a really, at an early stage in their development and in their education. They go to university, if they go to university and they fall into something and then next minute they're working and that's it. But actually there's a desire for, amongst a lot of younger people to make a shift when they're sort of in their early 20s or something like that.
Yeah, and look, and I certainly applaud that. You don't have to go to university. If you're not really sure, you don't have to go because you're picking up debt along the way. So, and I said employers are much more readily to see people jump jobs in the early stages. So yeah, be sure about it or don't be sure. Do it for a couple of years. If you don't like it, then have that will to change and do little courses maybe, okay? You don't have to go to university for 3 or 4 years or do a trade where you don't have to go at all.